Welcome back to Digging Deeper with the Missourian. I'm Dakota Oswalt, and this is News in a Minute. Let's get into this week's stories. Residents from across Northwest Missouri met for the third time in Maryville to protest U.S. President Donald Trump's administration as part of the worldwide No Kings protest March 28th. Nancy Zeliff, one of the local co-organizers of the protest, said people around the world are taking a stand. There are over 3,500 rallies across our country and the globe taking a strong stand against the regime in Washington, D.C. and our president. There's no kings in our country, has not been since 1776, Zeliff said. The first No Kings protest held in Maryville saw about 150 people. This number has since grown as the third protest welcomed over 125 people within the first 30 minutes of the 2-hour-long event. Next, a new auto body shop called Hensley Collision Center has opened in Maryville. The center does not focus solely on high-quality post-collision repair work, but it also brings a unique service to Nottoway County. Co-owner Jenny Hensley said the size of their shop allows them to expand their services. We are doing semi-truck repairs, which is something that we've done before, but not something that we've ever had the space for. I'd say that we can probably fit 8 cars and 2 semis at one time, Jenny Hensley said. The shop was originally set to open March 18th, but the Hensleys had to push back the grand opening of the shop due to vendor issues. As of March 31st, Hensley Collision Center is officially open. Now let's look at where the news has taken reporter Micah Stoley this week.
When it comes to the topic of sexual assault, some people may ask, what were they wearing? This display answers that exact question. I'm Micah Stoley with Digging Deeper, and I'm here at the Student Union, where the What Were You Wearing display displays just that. Here's more. The What Were You Wearing display is a demonstration of sexual assault victims' stories and the clothes they were wearing during. The exhibit was open in the Student Union from March 30th to April 3rd, and was organized by Wellness Services. Suzanne Von Barron, co-director of Wellness Services, said that the exhibit aims to discourage the idea that victims' outfits are related to sexual assault.
The whole purpose of the display is to challenge and dismantle the victim blaming myths, particularly as it relates to this display, the harmful belief that the clothing or one's appearance is the cause of the sexual assault. Ultimately, the message is that sexual assault is never the victim's fault, regardless of what they were wearing.
Some of the display features stories from victims who were going through college life and were taken advantage of. One of the stories describes a student drinking with the group she called her friends. Well, she woke up with one of her friends taking advantage of her. Later, her friends said that they thought she wanted it because she had been, quote unquote, flirting with him. Von Barron said these stories showed that sexual assault can happen to anyone.
I think a lot of times we just as humans, we think things won't happen to us. We think that we have to be aware that we're fortunate that we live in a great community, but there are, bad actors that have motives that aren't in anyone's best interest. And so it's so important though that we learn and take care of ourselves and our fellow Bearcats.
Von Barron said that stories like these help students learn about ways to stay safe while having fun. She highlighted the importance of keeping your drink covered and limiting drinking when at a bar or out at a party. She also said to surround yourself with people you know and to have someone dedicated to not taking any substances. Von Barron said displays like these are causing discussion among students.
I've seen a lot of students and their friends really taking in the display, talking about it, sitting at the tables and kind of, um, having conversations and, helping break that stigma by just embracing that. Sometimes these type of conversations are awkward. Anything that we can educate on to help keep our Bearcats safe is exactly what we're going for. So
I'm Micah Stoley with Digging Deeper, and I want to thank you for joining me. You can find more on the KNWT YouTube page or by visiting the Missourian website. Now, back to the studio.
Welcome back to the interview portion of Digging Deeper. In this segment, I'll be getting the inside scoop from the reporter of the top story each week. This week, I'll be talking to managing editor Dakota Oswalt about a Northwest student who's trying something new. Welcome, Dakota. To get us started, can you explain who this student is and what they're doing?
Isadora Gonzalez is a freshman here at Northwest, and she is also entering the Miss Missouri Teen USA race. And alongside this, she has started a toy drive. So she is majoring in marketing with a minor in child and family studies, and she wants to go into toy marketing once she graduates. She kind of took these passions and mixed it with her experiences living in and visiting Mexico and seeing the children there go without toys. So she has been inspired by all of this, and she created the Play Matters project, which aims to get a bunch of toys and donate it to local children who are staying in women's shelters. Her goal is to get about 75 to 100 toys by her April 13th deadline.
So how do you feel about being able to cover slightly more niche topics like this in the paper?
Hard news stories can be very draining, not only for our audience to read about, but also for our reporters to write about. So sometimes a feel-good feature story is just what we need to bring in that variety.
So how did she decide that she wanted to compete?
She was running for sisterhood chair of Phi Mu, which is the sorority she's involved in on campus. And while she was giving her speech, one of her sorority sisters, Lily Lehman, thought that she was a really confident public speaker and kind of encouraged her to join the pageant world from there.
What is she doing to prepare for this competition?
Isadora has hired a pageant coach who is kind of working her through each step. So there's an interview portion that she has to compete in, and then there's also 3 separate runway portions.
Well, thank you so much for all this amazing information. For more stories like this, make sure to check out nwmissourinews.com or pick up a paper from one of the stands around campus. I'm Hannah Claywell, and thank you for watching. See you next week.